broadcast of Green Dudes. This has been your exclusive 10 seconds of content, and we are about to dive into the podcast. Here we go. Hello, and welcome to Paradise. You are listening to Green Dudes, the only Green Day podcast that matters. You are here with me, myself. My name is Connor Mack. And I am here, as always, with my best bud in the Green Day verse, BFFFFFFFL, Green Day comrade in arms, and dude wife for life, Mr. Gutter.
Hey!
How's it going?
Good. I'm all right, dude. Yeah. Sunday.
Bloody Sunday.
Yep. Yep.
How was the weekend for you?
It was nice. I like on Thursday, I was telling myself I'm not going to do anything over the weekend. Going into the weekend, I was like, this weekend I need to do fucking nothing. And I have held true to that pretty
Good.
well.
Good.
So it's been recuperative and restorative and rejuvenative. So, I can't complain.
Rejuvenative that's a good word.
Mm-hmm.
That should be in the dictionary.
Yeah. Like every year they add a few words or whatever. That might be a good candidate.
I heard this past year they added the word selfie. Can you believe that, Connor? Selfie.
Wow. That must have gotten the boomers really riled up.
That ain't a real word.
We're just going to start recognizing all this slang now. Selfie is just a word now.
It just ain't right. It's called a picture, okay? We've been doing it for years, even before cellular phones.
Yeah, well, back in the 1800s even, at the advent of photography, people took what you would definitionally call a selfie, but they didn't call it that.
No,
that
they
wasn't
didn't.
the word.
Actually, the very first picture ever taken, Connor, was a selfie.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you knew that, by Mr. Alexander Graham Bell.
Yeah.
Was a selfie.
Yeah.
And he also invented the selfie stick.
That's right.
But we just called it a stick.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a stick that we put on cameras.
Yeah.
That's all it was,
Yeah. No frills, no bells and whistles. A stick was a stick.
A stick was a stick back then, and you could use it to sticks back in the day were used to punish your children too.
Oh yeah.
So we don't do that much. That's kind of, it's funny how the use of sticks changed. Like originally they were to beat kids.
Right. Yeah.
Now they're for selfies.
Exactly.
It's funny how things change like that.
It is. Yeah. Spare the stick, spoil the selfie. That's what I say.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's like because we banned the use of punishment on kids with sticks, and that's a good thing, of course.
For the most part.
For the most part, but
there's some exceptions. But yeah,
some exceptions. Yeah, it makes me wonder how long until we ban the use of sticks for selfie. Like, when will we ban selfie sticks?
That's true,
because that's just as bad, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the thing is like you might think like, oh well, what's going to come after? It's like you ban the stick, you get the selfie. You ban the selfie, what comes next? The thing is, I think that it's not about what comes next. I think it's cyclical. Ban the selfie,
okay.
You get the stick again, and I think it just goes back and forth. You're either
we're always between selfie and stick.
Exactly. So either the stick is for taking selfies or it's for hitting a kid. and you just kind of every like century or two, it just like goes back and forth where it's like, what are we doing with these fucking sticks? You know, like what's it gonna be this year?
We're always, learning and unlearning things. It's just that's kind of our curse as the human race.
It's true, yeah.
We learn. We're very good at learning, and we're also very good at unlearning.
That's right.
And this has gone from me joking around to being totally serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Tré Cool, he's been known to play with sticks.
Yeah, yeah. In
Right?
more ways than one, for sure.
In
Like,
more ways than one, yeah. He's been known to play with his own stick.
mhm.
Um, Connor, before we get into the song we're going to be talking about, which is kind of funny because like it's this song that we're doing today. It's on Dookie, but I
Mhm.
thought we talked about the last Dookie song last week.
Yeah. Yeah, there's 2 closing tracks? How could that be?
That it's it's bonkers. Well, have you ever heard of this?
Personally, I don't understand it. I need Merriam-Webster or somebody to explain it to me
Yes,
because it doesn't seem like it
please,
makes any sense.
please, Maria, please. Uh, because just imagine you're holding the physical copy of Dookie in your
Yes.
hands.
Yeah.
You flip it over, you look at the track list, you see maybe you have Ernie on the back cover. You're one of the
That's
lucky
right,
ones
yeah.
who have you have a copy with Ernie. Um, Last track, FOD. Nothing after that. No words, nothing.
Mhm.
And so it's like mind-boggling. Maybe some of you in the audience are like, well, what the fuck are they talking about today? I thought Dookie was over. This is not the retrospective. This is not the what comes after. What the fuck is this? So, dear listeners, we will explain. I know you must be confused right now. We will explain. But before we get into that, I did want to just talk about Connor, you and I had an interaction last night.
Yeah.
We had an interaction last night. I
Yes.
I was at work. I've been working overnight. And I like just started my it was like midnight or something when you were texting me.
Yeah, yeah.
Um so I like started like an hour earlier, and it was very busy. It was crazy. A lot of stuff was happening. There was uh actually, I work at a hotel, and this band there was a band that was staying at the hotel actually last night. There was two bands actually. One was a regular band, and one was a Michael Jackson tribute band, which is pretty interesting. Um,
Did you
but
know the other band, or is this just,
I they told me their name, and I had heard of the name. I'm not going to divulge it. I'm
Got
not
it,
going to
okay.
divulge it. But some people might recognize them. That's just that's just for me. I'm not gonna say shit. They were very nice, but they got their van stuck in like the parking garage, and it was a whole fucking. It was insane. Um, and so then Connor's like texting me. He's like, "What's your address? What's your social security number?"
Yeah.
Uh, and for me, like it is funny because I was joking with my girlfriend that night. She, I was like, yeah, I don't really care. Like you can just, I don't know. I feel like anyone can find my information, so like I'm not precious about it. Um, and here's my best friend asking me for very sensitive private information. And once I verified it was him, I gave it to him right away.
Yeah,
Uh,
right. So I had to answer a slew of security
you
questions,
did, yeah, yeah.
but we got there.
It wasn't that easy, but yeah, we got there, and Connor, he's just like, no, I'm doing something cool. Don't worry, I'm
Yeah.
like he'll find out. It's just just doing something cool. I was like, okay, cool, yeah. And then apparently the process just got more and more involved, and eventually he's like, send me your driver's license, front and
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Uh, And yeah, eventually
for all you know, it's like I really could have, maybe like I was dead and someone was just using
someone
my
just found your phone.
like, yeah. Because you were pretty quick to send me all that stuff, and I think it's a real testament to our friendship that me going like, just trust me, bro, like, was completely cool. There was no other question. And even before I was like, oh, don't worry, you were just like, no, here's my social security number, just take it, just have it,
Well, here's the thing. It's, you have a very specific like texting style, so it was easy to verify. Like, I don't think
right.
if someone killed you and took your phone, I don't think that they would pick that up right away.
That's a good
And
point. Yeah.
there were a few moments that verified that it was you. Which, so of course, once that verification
Yeah, I
is,
mean,
you can.
you can't just go like on the Green Dude's Instagram and direct message, because Connor's the one who runs it. You can't just direct message and be like, "What's your social security?" He's not going to tell
No,
you.
I'm not going.
He's not going to tell you. I'm sorry.
I'm probably not going to tell you.
And
I'll probably not tell you.
I probably won't tell you if you message me on Twitter.
And
but I mean, I have it. I have it. I could give it, but I probably wouldn't. Now
you could give it away.
I probably won't.
You probably won't. It depends on where we're at. It depends on if we're hangry or not.
Yeah.
Mostly. Yeah. So, Connor, you it eventually got too complicated. You did reveal to me what this was all about. So I think it's probably a good thing to share with the audience, maybe.
Yeah.
What was all this madness about, Connor?
Connor, last night I had a few drinks, as I tend to do on a Saturday night.
Sure, no, nothing wrong with that.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger on this whole Oakland Ballers thing. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just fucking do it. And I submitted the minimum payment in order to have us be joint investors along with Billy Joe Armstrong himself to sort of, kind of, tentatively, technically be co-owners of the Oakland Ballers baseball team in California.
Wow. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. You mad lad.
I know. And the only I was kicking myself because there's a thing on the site that says if you did it like on or before March 15th, they send you a free bobblehead. And I was like, fuck.
What the? Man,
fuck.
Mr.
I should have. I know. But you know what?
I bet you it wasn't a Billy Joe bobblehead.
No, it wasn't. It was the mascot for the team or whatever. But
what's the mascot?
I don't know. I do not know. I can't tell you.
So, folks, you heard it here first. The Green Dudes are tentatively investors, and pretty much like co-owners of
pretty much co-owners
of the Oakland Ballers,
and which means essentially a sure thing. Like,
essentially, yeah, no, it's pretty much a sure thing, which is like, I mean, so folks, you can send in your questions. We'll ask Billy Joe in the board meetings, the quarterly board meetings that of course we'll be invited to, for our investorship. Of course, we're going to have a seat at the table, like, I mean,
we're going to be flown out to Oakland.
Yes. Flown out first class. They're gonna put us up in hotel, and we'll probably get like complimentary season passes or whatever too.
Yeah, there's a lot of perks that come with this for sure. So we're just waiting for a few crossing the T's, dotting the I's,
Yeah.
all that jazz. I sent you like the confirmation email that the payment was submitted, and then there's like these rolling acceptance closeouts. I don't, this is all a little bit above my pay grade. There's some investor jargon here that I'm not familiar with, but rest assured, dear listeners, we will be updating you as this process advances, and yeah, Connor, welcome to the team. We
thank you so much. Yeah,
the Oakland Ballers, you, me, Billy Joe.
Yeah, it's the three of us, and what was the other guy's name? Was it Too Short?
Too Short, yeah, the
Too
rapper.
Short.
And then there's something like a few thousand, tens of thousands. I don't know. there's some other people in there somewhere.
It's just us. I think it's just us. It's mostly just us. Like, we're the four most important members.
Yeah. No, I reached out to the Oakland Ballers. I was like, hey, you could do a promo image, to join the Green Dudes, and in fact, like I kind of thought, like how they did with Billy and all that. They have not yet responded.
All right, we'll give them time. It's okay.
We'll give them time.
And I want to be very clear about this. Like, we don't accept sponsors. We've gotten many offers for sponsorships and ads and all that, and we don't. We reject that whole, because we want to maintain the purity of the podcast. That's very important to us. But Oakland Ballers, we will advertise for you.
Because it wouldn't be that's not a conflict of interest, because we're investors. It's like that's the difference. Like, that makes sense.
It's pretty. Yes, that makes total. It makes total sense.
We're promoting our team. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's essentially like Green Day promoting Punk Bunny Coffee.
It's exactly like Green Day promoting. Same thing. Yes. Yeah, the Oakland Ballers is like the Punk Bunny Coffee of Green Dudes now.
Yeah. No brainer. So just your people talk to our people. We'll get something worked out. No problem.
And maybe send us a bobblehead. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe send us a bobblehead or two. Just as a showing of goodwill. It's like, it is kind of fucked up that there was that cutoff of March 15th. But
yeah, what the hell? I mean, they got to have a few extra bobbleheads, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure there's just a bunch that are laying around in a box somewhere.
Yeah, probably. In the back of the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, it's always in the back of the 7-Eleven. Yeah, so that's the big exciting news here. So we will keep you updated on the process of this application. Connor, what else in Green Day news is going on? We have did you see this about the movie? They did a New Year's Rev, this Green Day comedy movie. It's happening. They posted they're doing a casting call, a movie casting call. Extras needed in Los Angeles on March 25th, 2025. They say, come hang with us at the Palladium and be part of a New Year's Eve concert scene for New Year's Rev. We'll be playing a few songs, a lot of times, and maybe a few others. Movies take time, so plan to stay for 10 to 11 hours. But don't worry, we've got sandwiches and drinks covered.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I forgot to tell you, Connor, but after I got your social security number and your driver's license and all your personal information, I also got us plane tickets.
Oh, hell yeah.
We're flying out there Monday, buddy. We're going.
Man, you really had a lot to drink last night. Huh?
Yeah, awesome. No, and I'm broke now too.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so that would, I mean, that's I kind of feel like I don't know why, but I kind of feel like we're too old to be extras in that. in this
Yeah,
movie, but
I don't know if they would accept us, I'm not sure.
yeah,
Maybe I think that they would probably have you I think that they would take you because
because of the hair.
your yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
your hair is, like, very, attention grabbing. Like,
yeah.
I think as an extra, you're like you would be you have, like, that pizzazz
Mm,
kinda quality where it's like, "Yeah, let's, like, get this guy in there."
sure.
And then I don't know, maybe I'd get to I'd be your plus one. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, no,
I think it might happen.
I think it could happen. Yeah, I mean, that would be fun. Just like because we kind of experienced this a little bit with Green Day on GMA playing songs multiple times, but this is 10 to 11 hours. Can you imagine
Yeah,
that?
I
That's a
wonder.
long day.
Do you think the sandwiches are any good?
You know, I it depends on what kind of like catering company they use, but like it's in Los Angeles. I've heard very impressive things about catering on movie sets.
Yeah,
Um, I would be prone to believe that they'd be pretty good stuff.
I bet so too. Yeah,
What kind of sandwiches do you think they would have? Like, definitely have like a turkey
yeah.
sandwich.
I'm imagining. They would all be on like a roll pretty much, or like a
Yeah,
hoagie kind of.
yeah,
Um, I think they would, yeah, have like a turkey club kind of deal. I bet they would have a vegetarian one.
yeah. I was gonna say
Um,
it is LA. They would definitely have a veggie option
Right.
for
So
sure.
I mean, that could run anything from like eggplants to like if they're really fancy, I don't know, maybe falafels or something. I don't know.
Oh wow, falafel. Yeah, it could. They could have falafels.
Yeah. But yeah, that I don't know, that'd be cool. That would be cool. I kind of it I don't know, it would be cool to go there. I love all the Green Day stuff we get to do, but maybe we do
Yeah,
got to move out
it
to
might
the West
it might
Coast.
be
I don't
time.
know.
Might be time to move to the West Coast. Green Dudes, California era.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with the whole investor deal. I mean, like if this really takes
Yeah,
off, we might have to move just out of necessity for being responsible for running the team.
yeah, exactly. Like we will have obligations to the team that we need. I mean, because we gave them our private information. Like we
Yeah.
committed to this project. So we might have to go and like collaborate with Billy Joe hand in hand,
Mhm.
just about the long term health of the team. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, that's our team. We have literally we have a vested interest, you know?
yeah, that is our team. Yeah, literally. Yeah.
So,
So yeah, folks, we will keep you updated on that. We might have to move out to California. So that's just a little bit of an update. And I mean, I'm sure our partners would be fine with that. Like just it is what it is. People have to move for business all the time, and it's like,
mhm. Mhm.
babe, we're leaving.
Yeah.
Babe,
And
we
this is
gotta go.
and it's business. This is business, you know? It's like
It's business.
we're diversifying our portfolios, we're expanding our
Exactly.
investment opportunities.
And when it's business, they
It's
can't say anything.
business. They
They
can't say
can't
anything.
argue. They can't.
No.
It's business. There's nothing else to say. Like they can't
Right.
even
Yeah, no, you could
say
pretty much
anything
say
about
it's
that.
anything to anyone. Oh, sorry to my wife, sorry
Yeah,
to my immediate family, my
yeah.
friends. It's
It's
nothing
business.
personal. That's what they say. That's the saying, isn't it? It's nothing
Yeah,
personal.
exactly. It's
It's just
business is
business.
business.
It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
business. So,
People understand immediately. There's no that's just the way of the world, you
yeah,
know?
they're like, "Oh, I thought it was personal, but it's just business,
Yeah.
so I
Oh,
get
that's a
it.
relief. You don't
I get it
actually
now."
hate me. It's just
Yeah.
it's business. Okay, that's
It's
why you're
business
firing me? Okay.
and these guys are co-owners of a Oakland-based baseball team along with the lead
Yeah.
singer of Green Day. Yeah.
Serious.
So,
Totally understandable.
they'd
I
have to
mean,
understand.
they would have to understand. I'm sure all the people in your school, kids and teachers, principal, they would all understand. Be like, well, he's going on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, so
fare thee well. They throw you a party, and out the
yeah.
door you go. Anyways, Connor, today, like I kind of hinted at earlier, we
Mhm.
are talking about a Green Day song that happens to be on Dookie, but not listed in the track list. This song, Connor,
Mhm.
happens to be what they call a hidden track.
Yeah.
Hidden track.
It's hidden.
Hidden deeply in Dookie, just deep in there. It's up deep in there.
Yeah. Wherever wherever
Wherever,
the dookie comes from,
wherever
it's
the
up
Dookie comes
there.
from. Yeah. All by myself, Connor, which is the second ever Trey Cool sung Green Day song. Um, and yeah, it comes on at the end of Dookie after like I don't know how many minutes of silence after FOD ends.
That's a good question, but the answer is several minutes.
Several minutes of silence after FOD
It's
ends.
it's definitely more than 2. So,
Yes, yes, it is. Yeah, um, and yeah, so that it's a hidden track. And this is one of the things that is kind of lost in the digital era with streaming.
yes.
The function of a hidden track, the thrill of leaving the CD player running after the final track ends, and then just discovering that there's something else.
Mhm.
Um, with streaming, it's a very hard thing to pull off. Um, Connor, all to myself, was this the first hidden track you were exposed to?
Hmm.
Did Trey expose himself to you for the first time? Was he the first one that did that to you?
Um, yeah, that is a good question. Because 'cause I'm trying to think of, like, what other music would I've been listening to that might have had a hidden track, because that was a thing, of course.
It
Um,
was.
but yeah, I think it's safe to say, unless I'm hit with a sudden, flashback, in which case I will set the record straight. But I really think it's fair to say that, yes, this was, the first hidden track I had heard. Yes.
Yeah, I think that that's the case for me too. It's it yeah, it was a thrill, and then of course, like I mean that's easy because I mean Green Day is like the first real band that I really actually got into. So of course this is the first hidden track that I was exposed to. But yeah, this was a thing. Like as far as like the CD era went, like uh I don't know. Now that I'm like thinking about it, I am sad that that doesn't happen really anymore. And if it does, it's like, oh well, I can tell that this track is 15 minutes long, but the song is
Right.
3 minutes. So like I'll just fast forward, I guess. Like it's not, it's just not the same.
Yeah. No, I found myself kind of reflecting on that too, that this is, obviously, it's something that just, like, can't be translated, the same way into, like, the modern age. It's just of its time. And,
Yeah.
it does kind of, like, it definitely changes the listening experience, because as I've been listening to this album through Apple Music, um, there also isn't any time between the end of FOD and the beginning of All by Myself. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like, it almost feels like it would be one thing if, like, okay, it has to show up on the track list, but, like, maybe you still had the same amount of of silence in between, and it's like you could kind of almost replicate like the flow of it, if not the surprise, right? But instead, it just comes on immediately afterwards, and it always kind of rubs me the wrong way because it feels like it's just presented as the next song, and that's never the role that All by Myself was meant to fill.
No, it's not. And I mean, that's the thing about the streaming era is that it's like it is all set up to cater to like playlists and shuffle, you know? And I mean, Apple Music is actually pretty decent in this regard. Spotify really is like where they really kind of push the playlisting and shuffle and all that stuff. I'm like doing the boomer thing, but without parody now.
Yeah.
But
it's true.
Yeah, for real. But so that's one of the things we lose because like if FOD goes into one of the playlists, but there's fucking 10 minutes of dead air at the end, like they're not gonna have that on playlists because it wouldn't work. So I think that's kind of why all that dead space is removed on streaming, but it does like definitely fuck up the original intended effect that the hidden track does have on the record as a whole, and it's a damn crying shame. That's what I said.
Yeah, for sure.
So for this song, Connor, let's kind of and here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. We debated long and hard about this. We really did. Originally, we were going to do a thing where we just let the end of the FOD podcast run, and we would have like 15 minutes of silence, and then we'd come back and we'd talk about All by Myself. But we figured, it's the modern era, streaming and playlisting. Like, if you want to put our podcast in a playlist, like, it's not gonna fly if there's 15 minutes of dead air at the end, We had these debates.
Was anyone going to listen to it? It's like we end the FOD discussion. Is anyone even going to stick around? Are they going to realize what's happening?
Probably not. So that's the only reason. But no, I mean, for real, we believe that this song deserves a whole episode to dedicated to it,
to itself. A whole episode all for itself.
Yes, a whole episode all by myself. It's it's a Green Day song too, and it deserves equality, Connor, take me back to a time when you were just a wee lad. You have Dookie and the CD player, or maybe I did, and I don't know. The timeline is fuzzy here. Which one of us had Dookie first? Maybe it's running in my boombox or over in your basement when you're in your CD player. And right. FOD ends, and you're like, whoa, what is this? Did we know that this song existed before we listened to Dookie? Did we scour GDA and learn of its existence? I forget, honestly.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is I do too. I don't know, and it's so weird. It almost I don't know if I've tried to like make this very dramatic comparison or whatever, but it almost feels like the way that scientists, because of like the light that's like sent out from distant stars, like they could almost rewind the inception. That's what the Big Bang is. The Big Bang is a theory based on the understanding that given the shift of light from all the stars at all points in the universe, that just logically that there was a point in which it was coalesced into a single infinitely dense point.
I thought that was a TV show.
Yeah.
The Big Bang Theory.
Yep. Well, go watch Young Sheldon, buddy. You'll learn a lot. Okay.
Bazinga!
but the reason I'm trying to make this very funny comparison is like that's kind of what it feels like when we try to put the pieces together of like the beginnings of listening to Green Day. It's like you can take everything back into that point, but you can't go further back than that. And it's like, what was before the Big Bang, and what the fuck was our first experience listening to Dookie? I think it's more likely that we will figure out the origins of the universe before you and I remember what our very first listening of Dookie was like.
Probably.
So all that being said, Connor, I actually kind of think it makes more sense that we discovered this by listening rather than being on the internet.
Yeah, I that's kind of like my gut feeling is that like I do feel like there is a memory in there that is walled off, but I can sense it. Like that. Like I do feel like I remember getting that surprise of the CD running and hearing the hidden track start for the first time. So yeah, I think that's probably what happened. Connor, this is it's a very different song than Green Day's discography. Obviously, some people would even consider it a joke song. Not me. This bad boy is 100% serious.
We take things very seriously.
We do. No Green Day song is a joke. Anyways, what are your memories or your thoughts on how you took this song as a youth? Because also some of the themes in this song, they could be interpreted as a bit more mature for an 11-year-old or 13-year-old, even just
the
implications at least.
Right. It's a bit mature and also like so juvenile, that it
I know.
It almost cancels it, the two things cancel out or something. I think I like would have gotten a kick out of it at first, but I never really felt like I don't know. It's Connor, you know this about me. We have a long and storied friendship, and even back in the day, I just did not think that sexual humor was as funny as like every other boy my own age. I was always sometimes the word that you've used in the past is a bit of a prude in that sense. And so it's not like, oh, I used to think this was so fucking funny and then I grew up and now I think it's like even back then I think it was more so the novelty of like knowing the hidden track was there that it kind of felt like as a Green Day fan, it kind of felt like it's like everyone knew if you're a Green Day fan, but it's one of those things that I don't know, it feels like you have a bit of like this Green Day trivia to either share with people who know or to beat over the head with people who don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was actually what I liked about the song, more so than like the song itself.
I totally That does make sense, and I can confirm. Yeah, Connor is, yeah, he's not inclined to enjoy, the juvenile sexual humor.
I'm just a little too highbrow.
He's a little too
Even when I
highbrow.
was 12 and 13, I was like, oh, come
He
on,
was like, "I'm
really?
not watching American Pie, no fucking way."
Really?
Yeah, but so
Anchorman,
yeah,
I
that
thought was hysterical. That was
yes, Anchorman was more on your level.
yeah, but come on.
Uh,
Come on.
yeah, so I think that's right. I think when you're a Green Day fan, once you have this knowledge, and actually, I can think now that I mean, I had other friends that were kind of into Green Day, like not quite as much as me, and so yeah, it's always fun to like drop a knowledge bomb or like a little piece of trivia and just blow their minds. Um, but I remember when I was a kid, Connor. This is kind of, I don't know. It's kind of embarrassing, actually thinking about it. But do you remember our friend Justin? I don't want to dox him or give the full name of the podcast, but Justin S.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
he kind of like Green Day with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I remember telling him, I don't know, I remember like joking that they recorded all by myself at a party, which I think is true, but that Billy, Mike, and Trey snuck down to the studio and put it on the record without Rob Cavallo's permission.
Yeah.
I told him that, and he
Yeah.
and he took it totally seriously, and I just never told him that. I was making it up. I don't know why that memory always sticks. That stuck in my mind.
That is funny. Could it be that like when we read all these YouTube comments and we're like, what the fuck are these? It's like
Yeah,
people are like making up these stories and saying like, could it be that the intent is the same and they're just
yeah,
fucking around and
yeah.
we're the ones taking it too seriously?
I honestly could be. Yeah, I mean that does. I mean, I don't think that's true. I think it's. I think it's more like maybe one of their friends told them this story, and they were being kind of
Yeah.
um hyperbolic or joking,
Right.
and then
Right. Yeah.
they took it seriously, and then
Yes.
now they're
Yes.
writing that on YouTube.
That is what it feels like. It feels like the
Yeah,
YouTube comments are like Justin writing the story that you told them. So it started off as a
exactly.
joke, but then someone was like,
Yes,
"Oh, now I have this trivia I have," and it's like, no, this was all just bullshit the whole time.
that's exactly it. I think that's I think we are getting closer to cracking the code. Because the people who would believe that stuff, they're the kind of people that would also write YouTube comments.
That has
So
to be the common denominator, I think.
yes, yes, and this is nothing against my friend. He was 11 at the time too, so it's like I don't even know what his deal is these days. But I
No.
do kind of hope he still believes that.
Yeah, yeah. He just might. And nothing against YouTube commenters either. You guys keep the lights on. We would
Yes.
not be able to afford our investment into the Oakland Ballers were it not for were it not for the hours of discussion that you've given us. So thank
Yeah,
you.
you paid for this pretty much entirely. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Connor, now as an adult, you've been an adult for many years at this point.
Yeah, more years than I
Uh,
was a child.
Crazy. We we've matured a little bit. Um, in some ways, in other ways, I feel like we have started taking ourselves less seriously. That's kind
Hmm.
of like a funny thing about growing up, right? Is
Hmm.
is is that you learn what to be serious about. You learn that, oh, it doesn't. We don't have to be so rigid in our sensibilities all the time. So I'm curious because we even really haven't talked about this song in a long time. So I'm curious to know your thoughts now as a 53-year-old man of a certain age.
Yes,
which happens to be 53.
That's right. Yeah, and that certain age,
that is the certain
53
age.
years old. Yeah, it's. I don't know. My thoughts are a little scattered, not to make a Green Day reference. They're a little.
All right.
And maybe even a little contradictory because it's like, so
wait, like you're like a walking contradiction?
A walking contradiction, yes.
Okay.
Well. Yeah. Because on the one hand, I think this song is cringy, and like when I listen to Dookie, and I've been listening to Dookie a lot lately. I've been listening to Dookie more now than I did when we started discussing Dookie. It feels like as we've been going on, I've been like, and then I got into the 30th year anniversary.
Yeah.
Like that's cool. I've been listening to the live. They have like the Woodstock performance on there, and there's some cool shit on there.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways,
Woodstock, we will be covering, Connor. We are going to have an episode, not just Woodstock, but we will be talking about Woodstock.
Okay, cool. So stay tuned for that. But what I'm trying to say is like, so I've been listening to the album a lot, and I go back and forth between, do I listen to All By Myself? As we said, it comes on immediately following FOD, or do I just skip it? And I'm just like, I don't want to fucking listen to this shit. I'm like, this isn't really technically part of the album, so I don't feel bad skipping it, because I'm like, am I even skipping it? Or am I just choosing not to listen to it? It's not really part of Dookie. It's not.
Yeah, that's a struggle for
and
me
it
too.
Is. I know
it is. It also is. Yeah,
and it is. I know, because you can't
isn't.
take it off. But it's like, but it's not, right. Like, yeah.
I have definitely listened to Dookie and skipped skipped All By Myself. I have done that, and I mean, even I think recently I've done that. Like, it's just like, I don't know. It's like one of those things. Like, I'm not always in the mood to listen to it. Like after
totally.
And I feel like it's even hard. Like, it wasn't intended to always be listened to after FOD. It was intended to be found by chance if you leave your CD player running. Like, that was the intention. It has to be. It's not,
Yeah.
It's not going to be, oh, you got to listen to 5 minutes of silence every time. Like, that wasn't the original intention. Streaming, again, fucking just distorted it all, and it doesn't feel okay. All By Myself coming right after FOD, it just ain't natural. I'm sorry. It is not natural. So Connor, I actually, fully understand not wanting to listen to this track, especially after like how great a finale FOD is to Dookie. For me, over the years, I found, like, I think All By Myself, it's like less. I went through a period of time, like when I was like in my late teens or something, early 20s, like where the song was really cringy to me and whatever. But now I don't really, I don't know. I don't really feel that way anymore. It's like, the funny thing is when I was going through YouTube comments, there's people that are calling this song cute. And at first I was like, well, it's kind of weird. Like, why don't call it cute? This is a it's kind of actually a little bit of a fucked up song, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel like it actually is kind of cute nowadays. Like nowadays, kind of feels like it's kind of like quaint and like I don't know. It's like your grandpa making dirty jokes that are just kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, in a way, for sure. The thing is, I'm probably gonna say a bunch of shit about this song as we go back and forth in our discussion. But so maybe there's just a few things I want to like throw out there that even if I'm saying things that seem to be at odds with that this is basically how I feel. Dookie would not be better without All By Myself. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, like All By Myself is so fucking cringy. Get rid of it. It's like, you know, I'm like a warts and all kind of guy. You know, it's like this is what Dookie is, and it contains this thing. And I think it's another big case of the time in which it was made, like the differences in like socially edgy or crass humor, like socially acceptable, you know. And obviously, like there's a big shift in the things that like are or are not joked about today in 2025 versus 1994, and especially, you know, coming from like notable people, or you know, people within like creative positions or with any kind of celebrity to them. I don't think that this would be like a topic or a thing that would be broached, because it would just be like, well, that's it's just a little you know, dismissive. Maybe to, you know, it's like, why would you make All By Myself today? You wouldn't. And that's exactly the point, right? And so I think if All By Myself is going to be considered cute in any way, I think what's cute about it is that it's funny to imagine like Billy, Mike, and Trey, you know, just like thinking how funny making this song and hiding it at the end of Dookie is, because you know they must have been losing their shit. They're laughing on the fucking track itself, obviously. It's got to be so fucking hilarious to be I mean, how old are they? 18 or 19? It was they're young, you know.
They're very young. I think they're 20, like 20. Yeah, they're like 20, 21.
They are 20. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like I think it's perfectly normal to be 20 in 1994 and think that All By Myself is fucking hilarious. Like, why wouldn't you? The song would fucking kill back then. And the biggest joke of all is that it's on Dookie, which goes on to be this monumental hit. How funny is it to be like a 20-year-old fucking kid on top of the world, and you're just like, man, how many people have I like unwittingly kind of sent out this dumbass fucking song? You know, like how many fucking idiots out there have left the CD spinning and listened to me fucking around for a minute just at the end of this this hugely commercially and culturally successful art piece. Definitely. I think that's what's funny about it. And so like I think there just is going to be these two halves of the conversation where All By Myself, I think the reasons for why it was made and when it was made completely track. I have no problem with it. But me, as a 53-year-old man in 2025, it does not hit the same. I'm not listening to this thinking like, oh man, those guys are so funny. I'm listening to it like, it is pretty fucking dumb, and I do think that, you know, it's just some of the subject matter on here is just a little gross. I get that's the point, but it's just a little gross. And like those things are just there's no way for them to reconcile. They just have to exist together, and that's just the way it is for me.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on. I I mostly agree. I don't really. It's funny because like I don't really even know if there was a time where I genuinely like really thought the song itself was funny, but it was always a funny thing that they did. You know, like you're right. It's a very funny thing to do, and to your comment about like hiding this on a one of the top selling albums of the 90s or whatever, like that's hilarious that there's these so many thousands and thousands of unwitting people who have heard this song now, and with the subject matter, like you're exposing yourself to millions of people
Yeah.
unwittingly.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Trey found that particularly thrilling, as exhibitionists do.
Oh yeah, no, it's I think you're definitely right on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I think there is a Twitter discourse waiting to happen uh, about that in the morality and the consent and stuff behind that decision.
Yeah.
I think if Zoomers picked up on this, I think they would have a field day.
Yeah. Yep. Let's keep it to the millennials and the Gen X crowd.
This one's for the millennials.
We know how to take a joke.
Yeah. All right. So into the song itself, Connor. I am fairly certain that it's pretty much entirely played by Trey Cool. There's I think the band is in the background, and there's like some I mean very very limited additional instrumentation. I think it's really just background noises essentially. There's some percussion and stuff, but let's just start off with Trey Cool's guitar performance here.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think of him doing this kind of slow, finger picked style?
Yeah, I think it works really well here. I like how sparse it sounds. It really it really kind of has this I don't know, almost like shimmeriness or something to it. It really feels like there's like this big room and he's playing, and it's like barely filling the space at all. So it feels I guess I guess it has like like it's different from what we were talking about with FOD, which like the acoustic part in FOD that translates vulnerability. This translates a kind of like amateur sort of feeling to it that is supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
The simplicity of it almost feels like a little wind up music box or something that just kind of goes on and on.
Yeah. No. Yeah. 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 You're right. It's very different in intention than FOD or in. Yeah. I mean.
Actually, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
Yeah. Go ahead.
The Dookie demastered or whatever thing, and was FOD a little music box? Is that why I'm thinking that? Because that might have been
yes.
it.
I think it was. I think
that
it was.
Might have been it, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was the music box. Yeah.
Anyways, go on.
Yeah. So. And there's also something with this guitar, like it does feel like it's spontaneous, like. And then my question is like, I wonder how spontaneous it was.
Yeah.
Was this mostly improvised? Did Trey have this song in his back pocket? It's like not as fully fleshed out as Dominated Love Slave. So I could see this just being an improv.
Yeah, definitely. And sort of going back to this whole like even if I don't really think the song is funny, it's like the funny thing is them making it when they did kind of deal. I mean, Connor, you and I have our own experience of making spontaneous joke songs together.
Yes,
With our friends, just fucking
we do.
around.
We do. Yeah.
And
Look
it's
up Google
don't say no.
Wait, no. It's I have to, Connor. I have to. I'm just gonna say all I'm gonna say is Google search itchy boner and see what comes up. It won't be us. It'll be something else.
Yeah.
Don't worry, they're not gonna find it. They're just gonna see a bunch of pictures that they don't want to see.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. It depends how devoted our fan base is, but
True.
at any rate, like there is kind of like a thing to it where it's like, yes, like not only is it funny, but it's doable. Like I think a lot of people probably have that experience of just making up a song as you're singing it. That's not unique, and especially if you're into songwriting or music in any way, like eventually, like you're just gonna fuck around and do that, like
Yeah.
with the intent to joke around with your buddies and stuff. So I would definitely believe that this song was off the cuff, and I've always, it's like, of course the song is recorded and it's this isn't just like a fucking demo tape or whatever. Like one of the things we'll have to talk about is like there really are like touches to this to kind of even elevate something like All By Myself a little bit, like they worked on it, you know what I mean? But I've always felt convinced at like the times that Trey's singing, like you'll hear like the muffled laughter and stuff in response to some of the shit he's singing, and I always kind of took it at face value that like Trey's kind of making it up as he goes.
Yeah.
And like everyone listening in the studio just can't help themselves because they don't know what he's going to say next. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. No, I think that's right. I do think it's genuine. I don't think that the laughter and everything, I don't think that's like inserted uh and produced. Like I think that is all off the cuff and like genuine. Yeah, I think it's funny because I think it's mostly improvised probably, and then it's very funny that he's singing this improvised song now 30 years later. Like it's just like funny to kind of have that stick and just like I wonder how many songs in the history of like modern music like were improvised and just took off, and then the singer was singing them for the rest of their lives. Like that's just fun to think about for me. Like it
is
like some sometimes the off the cuff not that All By Myself is like a number one hit or anything, but just it's just kind of a funny thing to have it stuck with you like that.
Yeah, and not like we'll kind of talk about this more in a bit, but not only to still be singing it, but like to be singing it in literal stadiums
I
full of
know.
people.
In stadium. Yes, I
Yeah,
know.
it's wild in
It's
that
insane.
regard.
It's actually insane. All right, so let's kind of we can go to Mr. Trey Cool's vocal performance here. This is his second vocal performance in Green Day history. This is his long-awaited sequel to Dominated Love Slave. Obviously, we mentioned this is a bit more off the cuff, a bit more spontaneous. Connor, what are your thoughts on Trey's vocal performance here?
It is it is comical, I guess. He's doing this like lispy sort of voice. I think he's basically playing this this character where I think he's just kind of an idiot, basically. And it is kind of funny to think about. I guess this is sort of a companion piece, or because in Dominated Love Slave, he sings with that down home, good old boy Southern twang to sort of embody that character. And now he's kind of putting on putting on this voice, I think, to just make him sound like kind of an aloof sort of moron. I don't think the character in this song really realizes or thinks that anything that they're doing, would be perceived of as gross or odd or strange or off-putting in any way. And the way that Trey sings the song, I think is like meant to convey that. Like it's not just Trey goofing around. It's Trey putting on this act to make the song like that much funnier in that kind of regard. So yeah, I don't know. I think it all works. I think his singing here is fine. I like how high he sings at times, and there's some even interesting like accompaniment and like some harmonies on the chorus there a little bit. Like there's some stuff going on here, but overall it's pretty stupid. So
yeah. No, I mean, I think Trey is a talented. He's good at singing, and he's also very good at doing voices. And so this always kind of reminded me of like something like Uncle Joey would sing on Full House. The voice, not the song.
Yeah.
But like, I think he would do the same voice. He wouldn't sing about, this, but
right.
I mean, maybe when the cameras turn off and him and Bob Saget are riffing, he would. But
that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of the vibe and honestly, that's kind of the vibe I got from Trey. Like he's kind of an Uncle Joey, in some ways.
Yeah. That's a good point, actually. You know what? I think that Billy, Mike, and Trey do sort of have Danny, Joey, Jesse kind of dynamic.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's not totally off base. So.
Yeah, I just so is Mike Danny?
Man.
Yeah, it's hard to because Jesse's the cool one.
I know. I mean, Mike. I
kind of
like
feel
you can make a case either way. I think
you could. I kind of feel like both Mike and Billy are like a mixture of Danny and Jesse, like just different levels.
Yeah. Although, I mean, if I had to pick, wow, why is this so much harder than I thought it would have been just like 30 seconds ago? My knee-jerk reaction was that Mike was going to be Jesse and Billy was going to be Danny, and now I just don't know. It feels like everything is all topsy-turvy now. I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know anything anymore.
Listeners, we need your help, please. Yeah. Please write in. Tell us who would be Jesse, who would be Danny in this Green Day Full House thought experiment. Please let us know your thoughts. Anyways, yeah. So Trey is like playing a weird little guy in this song. I think it's definitely like intentionally a character. Yeah, there's like a lot of fun little background things going on. But before, I think we got to get into the lyrics and talk about lyrics and stuff because that's the whole thing of this song is that there's a story being told, kind of. Any other thoughts on just the performances before we dive into lyrics?
No. I mean, unless you want to talk about the drums and the bass real quick.
Yeah. So how do we think the drums are in this song? I'm pulling. I'm linking your chain.
I know. No, I don't have anything else to add. Let's talk about the lyrics.
Kiffmeyer did a great performance on this song.
Yes, yeah, no, he would have knocked this one out of the park.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. All right, Connor, help me out with the song.
Okay. Just tell me the words I might have known. The words I
What
might have
I might have
known.
known.
The words I might
I
have
might have
known.
known. All right. So for this song, Connor, were there any lyrics? Did you ever even care to learn all of the lyrics to the song? Are there any that you had mistaken or just learned? It's a very complicated song.
Yeah,
Really.
no, it's a tough one. No, the answer is no on both counts. No misheard lyrics, and I did know them all. Yeah, it's not a lot, but and I did like I had to like sing along to the song to make sure I knew it. So like I'd be in my car singing it, and I'm like, yes, I do know all the words all by myself. Great. So it is funny in that way, but yeah, there you have it.
Yeah, I mean, same for me here. The very very simple lyrics. Connor, now this song, it tells a little bit of a story. First off, I just want your interpretation of what this song is about. Um, just what does Tré Cool mean by all of this?
This song is about our narrator. They are jacking off to the thoughts of this individual, and then they end up going to that person's house, and because the house is empty, they just go right in, and as far as I can tell, they keep jacking off while they are alone in their room of this person, and that's about it.
Now, with that in mind, Connor, could this be seen as a sequel to Private Ale?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
I wonder
And
if
yet
that's where Tré got the inspiration.
maybe it's like, but Private Ale just works so. It's like I don't know. It is kind of crazy to compare the two songs because Private Ale, no notes. Wouldn't change a thing about it. I think
Great
it's
fucking
great
song.
just the way it is. All by myself. For some reason, All by Myself is cringy and weird and off-putting, and Private Ale is like, yeah, whatever. It's just a song about a guy jacking off.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. I mean, it's all about how it's executed, really.
Yeah, there's
And
something to it.
I do think that All by Myself it's like meant to be cringy and off-putting. Like that
Yeah.
that is the intent. It's having the intended effect on you.
Yeah.
Tré would be happy. He would be happy to watch you cringe.
Right. Yeah, this isn't like an easy listen. You're not like sitting there like, oh yeah, and
Yeah.
of course. So
So here's the thing I wanted to bring up the story behind All by Myself. There's Tré has said this in interviews. He and I'm going to I'm gonna be quoting a Reddit post actually on this. This is a post from only 7 months ago from Anal Cavity Occupier. That's the username.
sounds like a very appropriate username
Yeah, I thought so.
For someone to have to be like talking about this. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, they say, I recently saw a clip of Trey in an interview talking about the song. He said the story behind it is he was beating his meat with headphones on and his eyes closed as a teenager. When he finished and opened his eyes, his dinner was at the bottom of his bed, left there by his mother. Then he made a comment about wanting a woman like his mother. Is this legit?
Yeah, so I have also seen that interview. I've heard that one, and to me, it just doesn't make any sense. Obviously, Trey is still just fucking around. He's basically talking to his friend Justin, and he's saying like this is how it went down. This is the
exactly.
and now all the interviewers, the Green Day fans, that everyone looking for an answer, they're like, well, Trey said it. So did you know?
Exactly.
Did you know that's where did you know that it's because he was jacking off with his eyes closed and his headphones on and his mom gave him his food? Did you know that's where All By Myself came from? Did you know that? It's like, are you fucking stupid? Are you fucking stupid? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't.
Why would that be? It doesn't even line up with what the song is talking about.
No, not at all. I think it's like an urban legend. I think that's kind of like it's like a passed down like joke / story that like just one of those things like one of those suburban myths kind of things.
Yes,
it's not. I mean, it could have happened to somebody. I'm sure it has, but It's like it's just like one of those.
And could it have happened to Trey? Maybe. Honestly, possible. Maybe. I just don't think it really has anything to do with All By Myself.
Oh no, not at all. Looking at the lyrics,
he's just fucking around. So
totally different stories. I just think it's very funny because this Reddit thread it's like people are like debating over the legitimacy of this. Like it's just extremely silly.
Yeah, I mean, why don't they just have a podcast where they analyze and dissect the song for an hour and 45 minutes? I don't get it.
Yeah, right. I mean, who would do that to this song? Fucking crazy people. Yeah, so the lyrics here, Connor, they are silly and definitely improvised. I don't know what. There's not much more to say. What are your favorite lyrics on this song?
I just really, I do like the joke of the song where he's like, "You and me have such wonderful times when I'm all by myself." Like the way the song ends is funny. It all works. It all gets to that moment, But that's really the only one I would shout out. Like otherwise, it is what it is. So
yeah, I totally agree. It is what it is. I don't think it was meant to be any more than that. What I just want to imagine the party or the like what do you think the atmosphere was like while recording this?
Well,
what led to this? What led to this happening?
I'm sure drugs and alcohol are involved, and they're going through the whole process of recording Dookie and I don't know. It's like I think that essentially there's like this intersection between having like access to like high end like recording equipment and availability and then just like basically being kids that are just kind of fucked up and dicking around. And where those two things meet, you're kind of bound to get something like All By Myself. It's just a matter of
totally.
Would you really put it on the album and send it out there? For Green Day, the answer is yes. But I don't know. I think the conditions were just right for something like this to happen. Yeah.
It was inevitable.
Yeah, I think
so. Now, how mad do you think Rob Cavallo was when he discovered that they put it on the record without his permission?
Oh, pissed. I kind of imagine he was like Dave from Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Actually, and there's a pretty good 1-to-1 there, because Billy is Alvin in this case.
Billy, yeah, of course he's Alvin.
Yeah. Mike is Simon and Trey is Theodore. That one's easy.
So Theodore.
Yeah, yes.
That
one is easy, no question.
Easy peasy.
Which kind of makes me think, okay, hold on a second. Yeah. Because if that one's easy, it has to line. I'm inferring this. It has to line up that between Jesse and Danny, that Jesse is Alvin and Danny is Simon. There's
I can
because you can't unscramble it the other way around.
Yeah. No,
Jesse can't be Simon. Danny can't be fucking Alvin. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. But
you're right.
All I'm saying is, based on the Chipmunks that Billy, Mike, and Trey have to be, like, there's no other way to put them against the Chipmunks. I think it goes to show that Billy has to be Jesse and Mike has to be Danny. I think it has to go that way, right?
Absolutely. No, I think that's the answer. Once you factor in the chipmunk conundrum, it's an easy answer.
Yeah, no, what exactly? You have that was the missing piece. It's like trying to do like an algorithm or something. It's like once you have that missing variable, oh yeah, they're like the Chipmunks. Then it all falls into place.
Once you add in the chipmunk element,
the chipmunk element,
it's easy peasy.
But to answer the question that sparked this, Rob Cavallo was like Dave or whatever for the Chipmunks, and he was like, instead of going Alvin, he was like Trey.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I heard too that he, after this happened, he was so pissed he swore off working with the guys. He said, "I'm never working with Green Day again." And then guess what? Dookie fucking made $1 billion, and he says, "Okay, I guess I'll produce the next one."
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm stuck with you guys now.
Yep, the old ball and chain.
But you gotta promise no more joke songs. And they obeyed this time.
And if you ever make an album where the album cover is making fun of another album, I swear to God, I'm not going to produce it.
And he's a man of his convictions.
The rest is history.
He held to that. The rest is history. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, Connor. You got to help me with this next song.
Okay.
All right. Goes a little something like this. A warning, live without warning.
Have we heard this song? Have we heard this song?
Okay, so of course, Connor, we have heard this song on the Saviors tour. This past summer. And that was actually incredible. We could talk about that a little bit. Mm-hmm. They played Trey Cole sang the song, of course, with an orchestral arrangement in the background.
Yes.
He came out and started his. Yes, it was. I thought that was very, very cool. What were your thoughts on hearing that iteration of it live in a stadium? Which, as we said, that's insane.
Yeah. No, it's like a song that was never meant to be performed in that context, and yet here they are. against all odds. And so I like the gag aspect of it. Trey's kind of frolicking around in his like leopard print robe or whatever it is. And it's all humorous for the most part.
It's quite humorous.
You got to do it. You got to do it. They're playing Dookie, you got to do it. So yeah, I mean, I liked it for what it was. It's one of those things where like it is stupid, like it is still dumb as fuck, but
yeah.
That's why it's funny, I guess. But it does just feel a little like
I don't get it, but I guess it's funny.
Well, it's just it's like, again, I'm sorry to come back to this point, but like when they recorded this, whatever, they're kids fucking around. Trey is a man of a certain age now. He's a man of a certain age, and this is his cross to bear. He's still got to be doing. I'm sure that he personally, I think he loves to do it. I think
he doesn't seem aggrieved to be doing this still.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just fine. But like for me personally as an audience member, it's like there's like a dissonance to it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, would you be doing that? If you were actually, Connor, if you were actually 53,
right,
and you recorded this song when you were 20, would you be happy to prance around on stage singing it?
I really don't think so, Connor. I really don't think so.
I feel like maybe your perception would change if there was like thousands of fans that love the song and are singing along to it. But that's me personally. But maybe you would hold your ground. I don't know. And then I of course would be wanting to do it. I'd say you got to do it. You got.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I would, and then I would, I would do it.
You would eventually.
Yeah,
right?
I would do it. But
of course. But you wouldn't be happy about it. All right. So before hearing on the Saviors tour, which was very cool, Connor, had we heard All of Myself live in any of our prior Green Day shows?
I was thinking about it, Connor, and there was a small part of me that was like, I wonder. I was like, maybe, but then I'm like, I think I'm just thinking about all the times I've heard Dominated Love Slave, and my mental wires are crossed, and I think that's really all it is. Connor, I do not think we had ever heard All by Myself performed live prior to this.
Well, Connor, you are correct for yourself and mostly for me, but and this kind of counts as a Saviors tour, I guess, but I did hear it at the Acoustic Rough Trade show in just last January. So not before 2024 for me either. Which I was like thinking, I was like almost certain that I had heard it, but I checked all the set lists on Setlist FM, and no, I mean I think it was just Dominated Love Slave that we had heard multiple times.
Yeah,
live, which is so it's cool to finally hear it. It's like a song. Like, I mean, I don't really feel like I needed to hear it, but it's like cool that I have. We can cross it off the list. That's cool. And it's always a thrill. It's always a thrill to have Trey singing a song. Like, that's just a fun part. That's just a fun part of the show. When the first time we saw that happen, we were like, "Oh, this is so fucking cool."
Yeah.
So that was awesome. And this is a song too that I feel like after the Dookie, Saviors tour is over, which is it's pretty much over now. I feel like they don't really even have to play the song ever again.
Yeah, I mean
it's fine.
They just maybe they won't. Maybe this will be lost to time. Maybe it was always supposed to be
maybe
hidden away. But
yeah, but I also could see Trey like being 85 and like sitting in a wheelchair playing this song. Like
Yeah.
I could see that happening easily. It would be even creepier, actually.
but I think that would make it way funnier. I
think it would be
probably
a lot funnier.
That's like the whole kind of stick cycle. I think eventually once it gets to that point, I'm gonna be fucking doubled over with laughter. I'm gonna be like, you know what, Connor? I take it all back. This song's a fucking gem. So
yeah, absolutely. It'll come back around. We'll be beating our sticks to it. It'll be
yes, exactly.
It'll be great. All right, Connor, you ready to hear from the seedy underbelly of the worldwide interweb?
Yes. I really have no clue what this one's gonna be like. So
yeah. So let's hear it from the anti-social media.
We are.
All right. In all honesty, Connor, I'm like a little disappointed in some of these in the comments here. I don't think. I don't know. They're just not as exciting to me as a lot of like I was expecting more, honestly, from the commenters.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, maybe it's like maybe the song's funny, so they're like, oh, I'm not gonna try to beat Trey. But yeah, so let's start off here. Okay, so this is from YouTube. We have Easy5485 from 4 years ago. They say this is Billie Eilish's favorite Green Day song.
And that's true, actually. You can look it up. She said that in the Billy interview that they did for Rolling Stone.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Now, do you think there is a chance that she was joking? Or you think she's actually a sick fuck?
Nah, yeah, I think she's just a little twisted. Yeah.
She's a little twisted in the head. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. I mean, what do you think Billie Eilish fans would think of this song?
Well, a lot of them probably went out to listen to it after. So
yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they listen to this song and they're like, you know what? I think this is the bad guy.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they did think that. Yeah. Okay. So next up we have, this is Alexi8415. Alexi says, really? I totally shit my pants because I was alone and I thought it was a ghost taking over my stereo.
How long ago was this comment made?
12 years ago.
12 years ago. Okay. I could maybe see someone 12 years ago listening to this and still feeling like it's pants shitting surprising. Maybe.
Yeah. That's kind of the cutoff point, though, isn't it?
Yeah, because that would make it what, 2013?
2013, yeah, that's already kind of pushing it. So
it is, but I could see it,
Yeah, so I mean, this might actually be the last instance of this recorded, like, in history.
Yeah, no, this commenter was the last person to be surprised by All By Myself, just listening to it on a CD.
Yes, and I'm happy to happy that we have it recorded for posterity's sake.
That's right.
Next up, we have Gitada Muke 7717 from 6 years ago. They say, that's how it shows that Billy's voice has been changed. He sounds so different on this song compared to the more recent tracks.
Well, now this is one of those. Now I'm like really asking myself: is this person funnier than I realize, or just as dumb as the comment makes them seem?
I know it's a good question.
It's a tough game to play on YouTube.
It is. I don't think they're joking. I don't. I mean, I think that they're just uninformed, but How many people do you think that Billy is singing this song, that he's just like doing a voice or something? Because there's got to be people that just have never looked into it and just started just assuming.
Right, you would just assume like, well, Billy's the singer, so doesn't it mean that Billy's singing?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, if you're a casual Green Day fan, it would make a lot of sense that like maybe the one Green Day album you would own is Dookie. And if you just go off your memories of listening to it back in '94, hey, who knows? Maybe they think it's Billy. That is kind of silly to me. Yeah,
it's pretty silly. Let us know if any listeners out there ever thought that this was Billy Joe singing.
Because we never thought that.
I genuinely don't think we did.
Right. We never. That's the thing. It's like I really can imagine us like I like finding out about this song organically, and even then, even as kids, I don't think we ever would have been like, "Oh, Billy sounds weird." It's like, no, it's because it's Trey. Like
exactly. I mean, I think it's fairly obvious if you know Trey. I think it's obvious, but there's people that are just dumb as rocks out there. So.
Wow. And we know Trey. We're close friends and business partners.
Business partners, pretty much by extension.
Yeah, right.
Next up, we have Bobby Dean 2 from 10 years ago. Bobby Dean says, "I found this to be creepy."
Me too, Bobby Dean.
And then they put like the thing where they typed in O.0, so it looks like two eyes and one eye is like big,
Oh, right. Yeah.
You type in O, then a period, then a 0, so it looks like two eyes, but one's like big.
The thing that's weird about that is, why would you do a period for the mouth? It seems like it should be an underscore.
Yeah, I guess I was assuming that the period is a nose.
Well, where's the mouth then?
Yeah, the mouth is just not shown, which is what happened to your mouth, Bobby Dean?
Yeah. Creepy.
No, that's creepy. No, that's creepy. All right, so next up we have Spigley_dig from 2 years ago. Spigley says, "They became the very thing they mocked."
What the fuck does that mean?
I mean, it's hard to parse.
What the fuck does that mean?
Is he implying like that this is like a joke song from the 90s, but they actually sound like this now? Sincerely?
Right. Or, does he think that they're all just going into people's bedrooms when they're not around and whacking their meat? I don't.
They're actually just doing this for fun now.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I mean, if this was like if this comment was made like right after Dose came out, then I could kind of like be like, oh, like they're making kind of sexual music sincerely now. It's not as a joke, whatever. Like, but this was 2 years ago. I don't see it. I don't understand at all what the motivation for this comment was.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's a bit of a mystery. If this commenter wants to give any clarification, reach out to us, because
please.
What do you think they have become that like All By Myself is mocking? And I have nothing else to add, but I would love to know more.
Yeah, please let us know, Spigley Dig. Next up, we have Noah K 1300 from 4 years ago. Noah says, "Only dud on the album."
Doesn't count.
You can't say that.
Sorry.
You can't fucking say that.
It doesn't count.
No, it's not meant to be. You can't call this one a dud.
No.
It's not meant to be in the conversation that way. It's not.
No.
Like, the album is over. The album ended already.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This is after the album.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how good or bad you think All By Myself might be. It's it can't affect the quality of Dookie. It exists in like as a part of it, but it's not. It's like orbiting around it. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's just I don't think you can view it in those terms, Noah. I think you're wrong. Next up, we have Stone Crab 27 from 8 years ago. Stone Crab says, "Stoned on Sesame Street." I guess he's like saying this song kind of sounds like it could be in Sesame Street, but like a stoned version of it.
Right. I mean, I do think that that's what they're saying, and I just still don't think the comment works. But
you can't imagine this being sung by Big Bird.
well, maybe.
I mean, except like
if anyone on Sesame Street was going to sing it, I think it would be Big Bird. So
it would be Big Bird, and I mean, there would just probably be less about the jacking off.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I know Sesame Street's changed in the last 20 years, so maybe they do sing about jacking off now. I don't know. Next up, we have Low Vision Suspicion 3571 from 4 years ago. They say, and people say new Green Day is bad. They obviously never heard this song.
Yep, that doesn't get any worse than this.
This is the original bad Green Day song. Is your doorbell ringing?
Yeah, I think someone's at my door. Give me a second.
All right. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. This is also a little bonus moment for you video watchers. This part will not be in the audio version of the podcast because I can do a little thing where I pause the recording. So for these moments, it's just you and me. You know, this is it's kind of a special bonding thing between me and the audience. So I'm happy to take any questions at this moment. You know, let me know. I'm watching the comments. Oh, here he is. Here he comes.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Got to cut this short.
I did. I mean, it wasn't for me, but my.
Oh, okay.
It was a package for my household. Yeah.
It was a package for your household.
For my household.
Is that a euphemism for something?
Yeah, and I'm not going to elaborate any further.
So. Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right, and we are back. Where were we at? Low Vision is saying that All By Myself is the original bad Green Day song.
Yes, yeah.
Which, I mean, you probably think, oh, fair enough.
I mean, it's just, again, like, because of the nature of it as a hidden track, it's just not fair to have it in conversation with the like rest of Green Day's discography and be like, oh, this song fucking sucks. Oh man, it's like they aren't. What they're not trying to accomplish here, right, is completely different. So
exactly,
you kind of just look like a fool if you're gonna call this one out for being bad.
Totally agreed. Low Vision, get your shit together, please. Stanley 1976 from 9 months ago. Stanley says, "This is Kermit the Frog if he were a stalker."
What is that? All right, so it's from Sesame Street to Muppets now.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of, you know, I mean, Trey does kind of sound Kermit-ish. He's not doing a Kermit voice, but like I can see the comparison there.
Yeah. Something about the line where he's singing, "You and me have such wonderful time." Like, that's, if it was just a little lower, it'd be a pretty good Kermit. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, next up we have Flying V 555 from 7 years ago. They say, when they play this live, Trey switches the lyrics from "Oh yeah, did I mention" to "I had an erection." They also play a medley of this song and "Dominated Love Slave" from Kerplunk Live. Um, Connor, I did want to bring up that lyric switch because he does sing sometimes that I had an erection when sung live. It's not on the studio version of the song.
Mm-hmm.
What do we make of that of that lyrical change?
Well, I think he's being a cheeky little Kermit, essentially. That's all it is.
Yeah, Kermit's known for his erections.
Yes. And
Green
nothing else,
erections.
really.
Yeah, not much else. Uh, yeah, it's just a funny little piece of Trey being Trey. Next up, we have Gannon Shea 5575 from 7 years ago. Gannon says, "I believe Trey didn't even tell Billy and Mike about this song and just added it without telling anyone."
Justin,
Yeah,
Justin,
this is Justin. Yeah, this is somebody's Justin.
we're speaking directly to you. All right, you have had the wool pulled over your eyes. Wake up.
Sorry to say, please. Yeah. I mean, you. I don't know. It's kind of like sweet that somebody would just believe this stuff. Like they just take it at face value. It's just I don't know. Sometimes I wish I was oblivious enough to believe in these fairy tales, these Green Day fairy tales. Um, all right, we got a few left. We have Dwyer D 4532 from 4 years ago. Dwyer says the year 2021. The reason 30-year-old friend said she wanted to sing a song all by myself while I went out for a smoke. So I parodied it in with the voice from the song all by myself. No reaction. No one was looking. Nothing. I was thinking of you. Still blank. Now I'm here. Her life is complete. Pretty sure I just made her week, maybe even month.
Okay.
He got no reaction from this woman he was singing this song to, but he thinks he made her week, maybe even a
Yeah.
month.
Yeah. Yeah, no, probably.
Yeah.
And then, like, when they go on to explain, "No, no, no, like, this is the song I'm singing, and this is what it's about." I'm
Yeah.
sure I'm sure this woman was, like, really, just
Yeah,
got
she
a
was
kick out of
thrilled.
it. Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, okay, cool,
Yeah. No,
okay.
now I get it. Yeah.
Now I get it. Oh my god, you made my life."
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. What why so their friend is 30 years old. I'm assuming they're maybe a little bit younger, but still, it's like
Or
I
I
don't
could see
know.
this person being older too, and
Yeah, I could. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
It might be even more. It might be more realistic if they were older. They're like this poor girl's like 45-year-old coworker who's
Yeah,
like,
right.
oh, singing this to her.
And,
That's
like,
fucking.
they're like, "What? You don't know All By Myself, the hidden
Oh
track
my
off of Duke by
god!
Green Day?"
I
It's
saw you
like
wore. I saw you wear a Green Day shirt one day. You don't know this song?
Yeah. I
Gotta
think that's
listen to it.
kinda what's going on here, so
God, that absolutely is. Next up, we have Not Craig 1 from 10 years ago. Not Craig says, "That's creepy that he went into her room when no one's home."
no,
A-
totally.
Ailing Phoenix replies, they say, "That is the pure fucking awesomeness that is Trey motherfucking cool."
Yep. Those are, that's the duality of man right there. And that's exactly the two wolves within me that
Yeah,
are wrestling, as I was talking about at the beginning of this conversation. This comment really epitomizes that. So
yeah, absolutely. Last but not least, we have Sonic Haired Madness from 12 years ago. They say, Trey Cool doesn't always sing, but when he does, it's awesome as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome as fuck. Some more Green Day references for you.
Green Day references never stop. Connor, who the heck wins comment of the day?
Oh, you know, this was not as bad as you kind of set it up to be. If like these were funny to talk about.
They were, yeah.
It is an odd batch though. I think I don't feel very strongly about any of them, but I think for my vote, I actually do think the person responding to Not Craig saying that is the pure motherfucking awesomeness of Trey motherfucking Cool.
Yeah.
That's just like message board response.
Absolutely. Yes.
I don't know. There's something I just cannot articulate about it, but I know exactly what it is in my mind. That's the one I'm gonna give it to.
There's a purity. There's a real purity about that kind of comments. Because like you don't even know if they realize like the sexual innuendo behind the song or anything. Like it's just there's a purity of heart. So Ailing Phoenix, congratulations, you win comment of the day today. Please give us a ring if you want to claim your prize. If you're still around, Ailing, please. We'd be happy to reward you handsomely. Yeah. Connor, any final thoughts on this song or anything we talked about before we wrap it up?
As a hidden joke song, I think that All by Myself is perfectly fine, and maybe just a little bit of a victim of being stuck in the past and for living too long, being dug up in a later era. What's funny is I think that's something about All by Myself, and you kind of see this in the comments a little bit and within our discussion, where it's like, even though All by Myself basically is quote unquote a joke song, something about it, so I think it has to do with the subject matter, and I think it has to do specifically with Trey singing that they go to their house. I think something about that feels like it, for some listeners, even being aware that it's a joke and that they're fucking around, kind of crosses this weird line, or somehow is like intermingling between something that's funny and then like something that's like so awkward and yet like and but like possible, like when it comes to like women having to deal with like the sometimes bizarre and sometimes very frightening, like
absolutely
sexual expressions of men, and the reason that it's like, and not only that, because you think about a song like Blink-182. This is not a hidden song. Think about a song like Fuck a Dog, right? I want to fuck a dog, whatever it is.
Yes. Yeah.
You go on the comments of that song, no one is going to be sitting down having like a whole thread trying to parse like, does Tom really want to fuck a dog? Does he want to do that? Does he want to do that? Really? Oh, that conversation is not happening. It has never happened. It's so exaggerated.
Yeah.
That everybody is aware this was made just for the sake of it being hilarious. And yet,
totally,
All by Myself kind of rides this line of like everyone's still being aware, like, oh, this is done for comedic effect 100%. But it just is doing it with the subject matter of having that uncomfortable layer that like creates this conversation that has been happening online and throughout this episode, it's like it's very fascinating that it can contain both those things.
Absolutely, and in that way, it kind of reminds me of like there's some songs from like the 60s or 70s that like are classics or hits, and then you parse the lyrics and you're like, wow, this is actually really creepy. Like I could imagine it like this being a legitimate hit or some version of it in yesteryear, and like just the lyrics not being analyzed. But now where it's there's a weird element of it being like totally inappropriate in today's age, kind of. But it's like I don't know. I could imagine this coming out in the 70s, but being played straight. Like so yeah. It's Green Day has a weird kind of space in the comedy universe where they are funny and they do funny things, but they're not a joke band, and they don't really have joke songs. Like there's even their joke songs have like an element of like, I don't know, like uh, hard to like. There's something real there too. So it's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting place to be, but that's what separates them from a band like Blink. Um, yeah. I agree. It was an interesting conversation. We went a lot longer than I thought. Or I mean, a lot longer than I told myself we
Right.
would. I
probably a lot longer than it should have been, really. It's
a
like,
lot
why
longer than I should have been.
why is there so much to say about All by Myself? But
Yeah,
that's kind of the fun of going song by song.
exactly. Anyways, folks, thank you for listening. Yeah, next week we'll be talking about something Dookie related. You can bet your bottom dollar. If you want to, you can follow us on social media. We are on Twitter and Blue Sky and Instagram at Green Dudes Pod. You can choose an email if you like at greendudespod@gmail.com. If you have the wherewithal, please leave us a nice review and a 5-star rating at Apple Podcasts and or Spotify. And yeah, I mean, get your mud ready to sling for our Woodstock discussion. Most importantly, folks, until next time,
stay punk.
Stay punk. All right. Stream over.